illness, as we know, can play a role in our next topic, seasonal affective disorder.
It is a type of depression that lasts for a season, typically the colder winter months, although it can happen in the summer as well. If you're struggling, know that there is help, and our next guest is sharing some tips and strategies to help cope with seasonal affective disorder. So aptly named, I believe, as SAD.
Exactly.
Or the acronym.
Joining us is Olivia Verholst. She is a licensed psychotherapist, mental health counselor, adjunct professor at NYU, and friend of the show. Hello and welcome back.
Hello, thank you guys for having me back.
This is great.
This is important stuff because let me tell you, it is real.
No one is above dealing with this. So what does the research tell us about seasonal affective disorders? Are there characteristics that are associated with it?
Yes, so seasonal affective disorder is a subtype of depression, and it is to be looked at as the seasonal pattern and recurrence of this type of depression. Research is limited, but it does show that contributors vary, and primary contributors look like our circadian rhythms, changing with the date change last week, and that kind of throwing us a little off our normal routine, and it impacts our sleep-wake cycles, which impact our mood. And then primarily, it is a light deprivation disorder. That's what the leading theories and research suggest. And so light deprivation, decrease in serotonin levels, that can also impact our mood.
We were talking about we felt off. And I'm using we because you and I had this actual conversation.
Yes, we did. We sure did. I had a very scary day last Wednesday.
I said, is it because we changed the clocks? Because normally it doesn't affect me. But I was like, I tried to find answers everywhere.
Yeah, I was pulling at straws as well. I called my not therapist, and I was like, why do I feel like this? Something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
But that, explains a lot. You know, you think you're above something, the daylight saving, and you're not.
Yep.
So how common is it? Because it feels like, you know, everybody kind of was going through something.
So you might be describing symptoms of winter blues, which can look like milder symptoms of SAD, which is that acronym for seasonal affective disorder. But the American Psychiatric Association does show that about 5% of U.S. Americans struggle with SAD. 5%? 5%. And they can struggle with these depressive symptoms up to about 40% of the year. So if you think about it, people are really struggling. It also affects women more than men and shows up in more northern latitudes.
Well, so that's us, check and check. Yep. Now, so say somebody is experiencing SAD during the winter months, the fall winter months. Is it one of those things where it's like every year at this time it's going to be that?
It's typically recurring. We can have self-awareness and do expectation management over how to best manage our symptoms, absolutely. In fact, that's certainly a protective factor for our mental health, but it's typically recurring.
Can we go back to the delineation between the winter blues and seasonal affective disorder?
Yeah, so with seasonal affective disorder, we're looking at these classic symptoms of depression, which range from hopelessness to low energy, fatigue. It really, depression really wants us to make us like hibernate. And there's also a lot people describe a craving for carbohydrates.
Wow, really? Really sounds like me last week.
Whereas, and also these are individuals where in the fall and winter, life is just harder than it is in the spring and summer, whereas winter blues is something that more people can be susceptible to, and the symptoms are simply more milder, and they may not include the whole package of depressive symptoms I just mentioned.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what does the treatment look like for SAD and then for winter blues even?
Yes. So again, while the research is limited, and as a therapist, I can absolutely attest to the idea that there is no one-size-fits-all treatment. Light therapy is shown to be an effective treatment. So getting a light box, sitting in front of it for about 30 minutes in the morning.
Like a red light?
Like it's a light. It's like a circle light box. It's
like
usually
an
like
orb.
that. Yeah.
That's like, my friend has it,
Yeah, I actually know people who put them in multiple different rooms of the house, which is really cool. And then regular good old psychotherapy and medication can be effective as well.
Anything to help you cope and get through it. The light box works, my friend.
I think I need to get on the light box train. This keeps coming up in conversation.
Yeah, it gives you that therapeutic dose of light that our mind and bodies are craving.
Now, what about maybe not for winter blues, but more everyday levels, like some things, some advice you have for people who things they can incorporate into their routines to just kind of help with seasonal affective disorder, or whether it be that or winter blues, or you're just feeling a little bit off from like everything's getting colder, it's getting darker at 3 p.m.
There's a lot going on in the
everything
world right
happening.
now.
Everything's heavy.
And these tools that I'll mention are applicable to just protecting our mental health right now in so many different ways. But recognizing our symptoms and patterns early is key. Prioritizing light, sunshine, nature. Just put on the coat and get out like once a day, or sit in front of a window.
Yeah.
I would totally recommend sitting in front of a window as long as you can.
You know what? My dog does that, and he seems like a real happy guy. Always staring out that window.
My cat is a master at it, so she's got something figured out.
Yeah. If only they could speak.
Monitoring your appetite. Again, we have the increased appetite for carbohydrates, prioritizing social health. We're in this loneliness epidemic, and asking for support if symptoms become more severe.
That's right. And don't forget Dr. Ruth.
I was just going to say, speaking of loneliness, thank God for Dr. Ruth, the gift that keeps giving.
Gifts that keeps on giving. Olivia Verhulst, it's always great to see you.
Always great to see you
Thank you
guys.
so much for sharing everything with us.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Very, very, very important right now.